Hi guys. So I know this is wild because on the left you have MrBeast, on the right you have this what the hell little camera thing which is supposed to be recording, which is now, but that is beside the point because I wanted to have everything on the screen just right there just to show you something that I have in mind. And I'm still not quite sure what kind of audience I have, but the fact that I'm doing this is a major turning point for me. So the reason why you're seeing MrBeast here, and there's not only this tab open, and there's two tabs of the same video opens because I was watching this at work while I was listening to it while I was baking. I work as a night baker, and it just came to me how MrBeast is changing the world in a good way, and in a lot of ways. And it just came to me that I want to change the world, but I can't do it on my own. MrBeast did not change the world on his own. He amassed a following that allowed him to do whatever it is that, he shared with the public, his ideas, and then, upon request, he would do those things. And MrBeast would do these things out of joy, entertainment, and of course helping people. And he has changed countless lives, and that's his signature. Okay, so he wants to do things to entertain people. Okay, that's one way of doing things. It made me realize that after his success, of course, there's a lot of people that followed his template. But what about other templates? What about other personality types that also wants to utilize the force of the movement, like having a mass following to change the world, but about other things? Like, personally, I relate to the way that MrBeast is in terms of personality. If we were to look at this part of the video, let's watch it together.
Because of Crohn's, it definitely changed the trajectory, and I was like, all right, I'm done with that. And then I just went all in on YouTube, and I was beyond obsessed.
Hey, you, subscribe.
Me being shy and not liking talking and not having much confidence were like such a big obstacle.
I'm just kidding.
But despite that, I still just did it just because I just wanted it so bad.
Have a good day. I don't know. This is my trailer. Kind of sucks.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't like talking to people, but I just really like making videos.
So yeah, he doesn't like talking to people, but he makes videos anyways because there's a drive in him that makes him want to do those things. And it's the same thing for me. I've never liked talking to people. I've never wanted to be in the spotlight, but there is something that pushes me to do those things because I have a purpose. And speaking of purpose, this brings us to the second part of the video, which really marked me. So let's watch it.
100 million. Once I got on that exponential curve, I was just like, oh my goodness, like, wow. Hey Mom, I told you dropping out of college was a good idea.
And lo and behold, I met him at 1.5 million subscribers, somewhere in that area, and we finished out 2018 around 13.6 million.
My income didn't go up like this over the years. It was like, you know what I mean? Around that time is where I bought my first designer clothes, like shirts that cost $1,000, which is stupid. And I even bought like a nice car back then as well, because I thought expensive materialistic objects made you cool back then. But then once you have a nice sports car, you realize like, it's cool, but like if you have Crohn's or if you have other issues, they don't just go away because you have a nicer car. And to me, a lot of that stuff was overrated. So I got rid of it all and realized like that's just not what makes me happy. I didn't just want to make money. I think if you have a goal in life, right? If you have something you're aiming for, I think it helps you work those longer hours. It helps you pull those all-nighters because you have something that you want to accomplish, right?
He really looks up to, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. None of them were flashy. That's not part of who they are. What they really care about is changing the world, and I think that's really rubbed off on him. He doesn't.
So the point of watching this section was that I'm just the same, and I'm sure a lot of people are the same, but it's about being the same and doing something about it, and really going all the way in because you feel like this is what you're meant to do, right? I know I'm not meant to entertain people. But I know that I'm meant to change the world. And one thing that keeps coming to my mind, and I don't care, what people may say, but what comes to my mind is the second Renaissance, Age of Enlightenment, right? Leonardo da Vinci, Tesla, right? Pioneers, innovators, visionaries. They have always captured my heart. And I've always wanted to be a martyr. And, blame it on the fact that I was exposed to, at an early age, radical movies or kung fu movies where the protagonist is a hero trying to, lead a revolution, or a Joan of Arc documentary, or Che Guevara. For some reason, I gravitated towards those, and it just felt right. Even Sun Yat-sen, right, who was the one who would lead campaigns, and he was a revolutionary in China. So, and my Chinese name is Sun Zhongwei, which is Big Heart of China. Now, whether I have anything to do with China is a different story. But what I'm trying to say is, and my English name is David, and my mom named me after David Copperfield because she wanted me to be as great as him someday. Now, I'm not going to be a magician, but I do want to bring wonders into the world. MrBeast wants to bring joy to the world. I want to bring wonder to the world. I want to make our reality the second Renaissance all over again. And how would I plan to do that? Well, see, I'm pretty sure that many people want the same thing as I do, and that is the same type of personality that I am. But of course, as an individual, how much can you do by yourself? But if you are the whole planet banding together under one dream, one ideal, right, then everything is possible. Anything is possible. And MrBeast would, upon request from his followers and fans, do the things that, they would want to see him do, because they all I guess their personalities are not so far off of how MrBeast is as well. So you attract the type of person that you are. So I asked myself, what type of person am I? I'm a dreamer, a thinker, dreamer, feeler, but also, ultimately, I want to be a practical dreamer, a doer. And so I want to change the world. And the thing is, I spent the last 9 years conceptualizing a personality language tool that quantifies human emotions, and it helps people express emotions more accurately. And I thought that my dream was limited to only teaching my system and my book, but I was thinking too small. Because it was never about my system. It was never about the theories. It was about my nature. It was my nature, my personality, that the system came to be. Okay, so it was from this intuitive, critical dreamer thinker part of me that gave birth to this system. And so I want to use this to gather all other practical dreamers, just like myself, who also wish for the return of the second Renaissance. And how would I make it happen? You might think, you might ask. Very simple, exactly the same way as how MrBeast did it. So he attracted his followers, his kind of people. I want to attract my kind of people who wants to dream in real life, people who dares to dream in real life. And let me tell you why in the age of the Renaissance, people were competing to be innovative, right, to pioneer things, because there was an incentive, right? The kings would pay you a sum or fund you, give you money. They would push your invention. They would make it so that you would be well taken care of. But we don't live in that kind of time anymore. People don't give you money for that. People give you money if you are on YouTube or you are on social media and you grab attention. So I want to use this medium to turn innovation into an entertainment, and that would give people incentive to be innovative, more innovative, to band together, to innovate together. I want to have a movement, start a school, an establishment, right? I want to be the one who would be able to give money, not to the poor people, although I will give money to the poor people. That would not be the point. MrBeast will do that. I want to give people to who would be able to solve problems, real life problems. And I want to be able to work within the system, because the system is in place in a way that, it's making sure that people are, in their ranks. They don't fall off of their ranks, so that the order doesn't fall off or doesn't, tip into chaos. And as a smart person, I will want to work within that. And because there is always a way to find, it's like a tree roots. It will find ways to grow. It will find its way to the water. So there are ways to innovate the world. There are ways to better structures. There are ways to better systems, the current systems of things, if we band together and think about them and make them happen. I can't get angel investors, no problems. I won't run after them. They will come to us, because we will be a movement of innovators who will just spit out innovations left and right. And once I will get to that point where I will have the authority to give money to those who can invent things, well, we will let the mass decide, what problem to tackle. And then, we will say, under which circumstances. And then whoever who can do it will get the sum, will get the money. So if the government is not funding for that, then let the people do it. Let the influencers do it. Let the YouTuber do it. Because there are no other ways. There are no other ways to change the world unless you take it into your own hands and do it with others, not by yourself. Like my mom says, wind turns into storm if you bend together, right? When you bend together, you share strength and you make things happen. And so the things that we all want to happen, we cannot do it by yourself. We cannot. But if we gather under one voice, one purpose, then it is possible. So far, there has only been influencers for entertainment. I want to change that. I want to create a new category. I want a category where people will become influencers for smart goals, where we can give incentive to people to create things, to innovate, by telling them that they will be looked after. They will be looked after. They will be rewarded for doing the right thing. And so the world is evolving very quickly, and AI is going to take over. It will dictate, what to believe in, what society ought to believe in and whatnot, what is real. But I want to fight for emotional intelligence. I want to preserve the authenticity of emotional depth. And that can only be done if we are a force, a movement that works towards that goal. Or else we're all going to be disconnected. A lot of people will turn towards suicide, depression. Many people are already doing that because they see no point, because they have lost faith, because there is no longer anything to believe in, because their nature is to believe, is to live for wonder, is to live for the divine guidance. And so let's preserve that. And I know that the type of people I'm looking for are introverted and are smart people who are antisocial, but they will come out of their caves if I make the first move as the introvert. I'm not the smartest, I'm not even any close, but I have the archetype. I embody the archetype of the thinker. And so if I speak, regardless accurate or not accurate, regardless of the inaccuracy of my self-expression, if I speak of a problem that they care about, they will come out of their cave, and then that's when the movement will begin, and that's when things can begin to change. Because if not now, then who? No, if not now, then when? Right? That's what it is. And if it's not me, then who? Because I don't see anyone doing this. I don't see anybody. Everyone is falling in line with the same trend. Everyone is falling in line with the same YouTube trend, the same topic, everything, right? It's just following the same thing. It's becoming so synthetic, becoming so fake. Somebody got to do something about it, because this is not, out of selflessness. This is out of a very selfish reason of me wanting to live in a genuine, real world where real emotions will lead to human connections, right? Because, or else, I'm just going to be the only one. And I spent the last 10 years to create a personality language tool so that I could communicate who I am to people. But why do I have to create a new language just to make people understand who I am? Like, why do I have to create something else to exist and to be? Why can't I just be? Why can't I just use English and just have it be enough? Why do I have to change change myself for the world? No. So this is not what's gonna happen. It's not gonna go down this way. If I am not happy with the world, right? I'm not gonna change my ways just to adapt. No, I'm gonna change the world in a way that I know that there will be a space for me and other people like myself. Okay? And many people are doing that as well, because they're unhappy with the world, so they're doing something about it. So instead of spending so many years to change myself and make the world happy, finally I'll get the world to change. But I will need your help. I will need all the help I can get. And this is going to be a first. And it's just going to be this way. It's just going to feel this way. As a first, it will always feel like this, because you are the first one doing it in this way. So it will always feel a little weird, or people won't know what to make of it until it becomes a thing. So I don't care right now how I sound like, how imperfect it was, the video, the way it is filmed. It's all haywired, it's all bad, I know. But if I don't start, if I don't get it out some way, how is it gonna work? How is it gonna work? Okay, so the most important thing is that I need to get the message out. Right, so once it is out, now we can proceed to the next thing. Okay, there will be questions, there will be people popping in and maybe joining the movement or lending a voice. Something will be stirred, hopefully. Hopefully I will have stirred something. Some movements will have been created, right? I don't know, but the whole purpose of this video is to shake the world a little bit so that I can create space again for something new. Something new can be born rather than just a perpetual recycling of the same thing, just like ChatGPT, just recycling information over and over again. We have to create new information, or else the world will stagnate. And just like MrBeast, I hate being under the spotlight. I hate expressing myself. I spent 10 years to learn how to express myself, how to be normal, how to be accepted. But it seems like no matter what I do, I will never belong. And I just, my perspective was all wrong. I don't have to try to fit in. I just have to be myself, and the world will fit. Okay? My people will find me. Because those who are not my people will never accept me. They will always be determined to misunderstand and to judge. And that's all right. That's their nature, right? A lion will be a lion, a rabbit will be a rabbit, a turtle will be a turtle. Cannot be a lion, cannot be a turtle pretending to be a lion. If I'm an octopus, I'm an octopus. Okay? I can only pretend so much. Because at the end of the day, if they sense that you're not a lion, you're not going to be part of the family. And you'll still be alone, no matter how many years you spend on creating a language so that they could understand you. It doesn't matter. It all comes down to energy. And regardless of what you are, if you find your tribe, right, then they will naturally respect you, because that's just the law of nature, the law of the universe. If you go where you belong, then they will recognize your uniqueness and let you be and allow you space for self-expression. Until then, you'll be judged because they cannot place you in a box. So they will be like, what is this guy doing? Right? Like, he's not doing it the right way. He's not filming it the right way. What is he doing with this camera? Why is he, talking inside this little thing? And then, there's like a YouTube video right next to it. It's all wrong. Yeah, I know. But that's the point. It makes me, it's suffocating. It's suffocating. And this is not how I want life to be. And can you imagine all the people out there who are genuine and who just won't abide to the system, to the structure? It turns them off. They won't do it. They won't do it. So on YouTube, there's only one type of person, one type of personality, one archetype, always doing the same thing, always speaking the same way. And the other ones, they're, maybe on the weirder side of YouTube. Don't know. But things ought to change, right? Like, you need to put yourself out there in a way that the world can see that you deserve a space as well. Because, hey, you're human as well. And that was my message. If you stayed all this time and listened, subscribe to the Thinker Feeler. Join the movement. I initially wanted to use my system to change the world, but I was thinking too small. What I want is to gather all those who are innovators, who are thinkers, who are outside the box thinkers, but also who are emotionally intelligent. And I want to build a school of people who want to see the return of the age of Renaissance, the era of Renaissance, the second Renaissance. And it's possible. I have it. The vision is there. It's in my mind. And can you imagine if MrBeast can move people to donate just $1 or $2, and then he goes and then he plants trees, or he give money to people, he changes lives, or he entertains people. This power can be used to change the world in so many ways. The world can change so fast if we band together. But that's the hardest part. And Jack Ma said that it's very easy for stupid people to work together. But if you are able to make smart people work together, then you can change the world, right? The problem is how to make smart people work together. Well, you can make smart people work together if you have a purpose. And if what you say is meaningful enough for them to show up, to reveal themselves, right? To come out of their dark caves. So this is my call to action, is that I want to change the world through the power of social media. And I want to revamp social media in a way that the only personalities on social media is not just for entertainment. No. It is also going to be a place where people will seek to give incentive to smart people to do smart things for the world, right? Instead of giving money to people who are poor and all that, we have a lot of people doing that already. That's good. Now, let's have a new category. Let's have a category where we will find the smart people, gather them, and make them change the world. Because I myself cannot change the world. I'm not smart enough. But someone out there is smart enough to do it. They just don't have the means. But with funding, with money, they can. Maybe you can change the world. Maybe you have the skills. All you need is funding, right? Then here I am. I'm gonna be the guy who's gonna help you, right? I'm gonna be the guy who's gonna create that movement. I'm gonna resurrect the era of Renaissance. If it's not me, then who? Because I don't think this is gonna happen. Okay, if you think this idea is wild, it is wild. But you know what? Everything is possible nowadays. So if this is something that you think you can see, it could blow up, and you can see that it could change everything. The world can change so fast if we give the power to the right people. And then we can make it happen. I can be the MrBeast of innovation because I'm not funny enough. I'm not an entertainer, but I sure want to change the world with all my heart and the little mind that I have. I am here to change the world, and I'm here to do it in this way. And this is my call to action. Join the movement, subscribe, like, share my video, and voice yourself, please. Please make your presence known so that other introverts will come out, because this is a movement for other introverts too, for all introverts. When introverts are together, we will seem like extroverts, but when alone, we will be awkward. We will sound like out of place. So I'm making this first step, first move, the most difficult one. I know. And I will just post this video like this. I don't even think that I need to edit it, because if the message is coming straight from my heart, it should be delivered as it is. And whoever that sees this video and knows it's for them, they will watch it to the end and they will share it. Okay, so and I don't know if what I did at the beginning, like playing the video, YouTube video, will get me a copyright strike. Not sure, but I'll give it a try. I'll risk it. Okay. Life is not meant to be perfect. It's only when we try that we suffer. Okay. So I will upload it just as it is. And my washroom talks, makes noises. Even my washroom is more expressive than me. So that is something. That's food for thoughts. Okay. So if you don't voice yourself, then you don't exist. That's what I've learned in my 35 years of being on Earth, is that if you don't voice yourself, if you don't speak up for yourself, no one will. You won't. Your thoughts won't matter. Your thoughts won't exist. Your dreams won't exist until you speak them into existence. And so here it is. Now, whatever that's gonna come next, I'm ready to embrace it. Are you here with me? Because I think this is it. There's no turning back. This movement is real. And I just realized that's what I had to do today. Thank you. Oh, right. I wasn't recording from here. That was a thinker feeler. Drop a comment, please. Let's interact. Let's communicate. Let's draw all the smart innovators out of their caves, their shells. Let's get them to band under one voice, under mine.